Saltwater Reference Solution. It's natural seawater that we have reduced the salinity to the standard 35 parts per thousand. That standard gives you well-known chemistry. You can look it up online. You can look it up in books on seawater chemistry. We know that every ion in here matches standard seawater. We're fortunate in that we have access to the natural seawater and we also are fortunate in that one of the best labs in the world for studying seawater chemistry is at the University of Miami. And we produce our batches and we verify that it is exactly 35 parts per thousand at the University of Miami. So the hobbyist can now use this as a reference solution for several purposes. You can use it to calibrate a refractometer. You can use it to verify the accuracy of a hydrometer. And if you wanted to verify the accuracy of a test kit, you can use it to check calcium levels, you can use it to check alkalinity, potassium, because the values are known for standard seawater, so it's a good reference. That's really good. And even on the refractometers, there are other calibration solutions on the market, but they're made just with sodium chloride, whereas this has the full composition of seawater. And refractometers, there are ones that are designed for seawater, which is what we want to use, but calibrating them with reverse osmosis water or just sodium chloride is not going to give you as precise a result as the natural seawater does. In the same brand name, Accuracy, Accuracy 1, this is an artificial seawater mix that we haven't introduced yet, but we're just showing the packaging at this show. We will have it shortly on the market. It's as I said, an artificial seawater mix where we are packaging it in a plurality of individual packages. This is the 50-gallon size, and then there are 10 packs each to make 5 gallons of seawater. The advantage of that is that the mix will be precisely the same each time. If you open up a bag of 50 gallons and scoop, your first scoop is not going to be the same as your last scoop, even when the manufacturer is careful to blend the salt homogenously. Also, if you don't use all the salt and you leave it, it becomes hard. Have you ever had to use a hammer where the salt cakes up? Then that salt is no longer the same as the manufacturer originally intended it. Having the separate little packs allows you to maintain exactly the same mix every time. We also are matching natural seawater in the composition. There are different salts out on the market promoting high levels of calcium and alkalinity, high magnesium levels. That's all fine. You know, I think it's great. What we're achieving here is a seawater that can be used in reef aquariums or fish aquariums with the same composition as natural seawater. We did ever so slightly elevate the alkalinity and calcium level because I feel that may be advantageous to the hobbyists, allow them to reduce the salinity just a little bit if they wanted to. We sell it or market it as a full strength seawater. You know, we make a lot of magnetic products. One of the more recently introduced ones, Mag Feeder, and it's a floating feeding ring, magnetically coupled. And the idea of a feeding ring is you put the dry food in it, and instead of going over the overflow or getting sucked into the filter, it just drops right down. Exactly. So using the same apparatus for magnetic coupling, we're going to be introducing a lot of different feeding devices. And here is the next one. It's basically a coral. It's molded, it's not real coral. And we can put a food on it. We can put a gel food on it. And the fish are able to graze. And that mimics the natural grazing behavior. It'll also make it enticing for butterfly fish that naturally feed on corals. Here's a way to give them an artificial food source and convert them to artificial food using their natural tendencies.